3.1.1. We're going to do a part of this, or maybe all of it, on the question paper, so that we can just scratch and mess on the actual diagram. The instruction here is to calculate the value of the unknown letter in each of the following. The instruction here just neglected to state that you should give it with reasons, but we know that we should always give reasons in our geometry statements, so we will do that. 3.1.1, we have here a line segment AB and CD, and we can see that they are parallel. And then we've got some line cutting through the PQ. We of course call that a transversal. So we need to find the relationship between these angles here. Now if you look at angle X and angle 2x minus 50, if you think of the fun method, if you can call it the method, we are looking at an F shape here. These are corresponding angles. Okay, we've got the two angles on the same side of the transversal. They are at different intersection points, and one is inside and one is outside. Now I know that way of remembering this is a bit tedious, which is why we've made use of the fun method, or the fun approach, whatever you want to call it. And that is basically, the F refers to corresponding angles, and the way you can trace out the F in this case is like that, and the angles would be sitting there. So that's your F. So the F is upside down. You might be tempted to say, oh, but my F is here. But that's not true, because that leaves this angle outside on top of the F, which doesn't make sense. So it's about identifying the F in this way. So that's how you write it. This cannot be the U, the co-interior, because these two angles don't fall with inside some kind of U or N. And also it cannot fall in some kind of Z shape, because you can clearly see how they're positioned. They do not have that Z shape going on. So that is how we can say, okay, this is definitely the F. Okay, when we get to 3.1.2, here we can see one angle there and one angle there, so they fall within that Z sort of shape. And of course it's a weird looking Z looking like that, but we've got that going on over there. So coming back to 3.1.1, what we've discussed now only is just identifying what relationship is going on, what angle relationship is this. That's an F, so corresponding, and then after that I need to remember that corresponding angles are equal. So that means my statement must be that angle X, this one here, is equal to this one here, angle 2x minus 50. So that's the relationship. They are equal. Why? Because I've identified them as corresponding, and I know that corresponding angles are equal. So that's where that comes from. So I can then make that statement. So that's my statement, and my reason is corresponding angles. Let's just make that for short, because AB is parallel to CD. So we need to include this part here, because the reason that the corresponding angles are equal is because AB is parallel to CD. That's why. Moving on, I simply need to solve for X now. So I've got here, so I remember I want my letters on the left, numbers on the right. So I've got X in the right place, but 2X must come over. So that's X minus 2X now. And what's left on the other side is negative 50. Remember, there was a negative sign here, which belonged to the 50 degrees. So if I simplify this, I've got X minus 2X gives me negative 1X, or negative X. And that gives me negative 50 degrees, of course, that was there. Now, I don't want negative answers here. There's no such thing as a negative angle, at least not now, in grade 8. So I've got, remember, I don't want this minus here, so that's a minus 1. I want to get rid of the minus 1, and I do that simply by dividing by minus 1 on both sides, and that gives me an answer of X on this side, and negative 50 divided by negative 1 gives me positive 50. So that's how I get my answer to be positive, because I cannot have a negative angle. Okay, 3.1.2, we'll try to just squeeze that in over here as well. So I'm going to start off by just identifying that again. The relationship here between these angles is that they are alternate angles. So alternating between the two sides of the transversal. So one is, they're both interior, in the interior here, and one is on this side and one is on that side, so they alternate. And what do we know about alternate angles? The alternate angles are also equal. So corresponding angles are equal and alternate angles are equal. So the shape that you're looking for here is that Z. Okay, now remember the Z can be like that, it can be like that, it can have all kinds of orientations. Your job is just to identify it. So we've identified that they are alternate angles, and what do we know about alternate angles? We know that they are equal, so that means this angle 3A is equal to that one. So that's a statement you're going to make. You're going to say that 3A is equal to A plus 70. That's a statement that gets you started off. And my reason for saying that is alternate angles. Why are the alternate angles equal? Because MN is parallel to RS. So I'm going to write it. MN is parallel to RS. Okay, so that's already 2 marks for you. So as you can see here, this is a 3-mark question, both of them. And just by saying this and saying that, you've already got 2 out of 3. Of course, provided that you said it correctly and written it correctly. So the next step is just to solve for A. So I want my letters on the left. I'm going to say 3A minus A, because that 1A was on the other side. And there's only the one number, which is 70 degrees, already in the correct place. So that's 3A minus A is 2A is equal to 70 degrees. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2 to get rid of that 2. And that gives me A equal to 35 degrees.